I'm using white chalk paint. However, there are two different brands and they're not exact. So what I'm going to do here is I added a little bit of water to a disposable pan and I'm going to mix the two so that I get a uniform color for both of my drawers. A couple of points that I would like to make is that even though I thinned this chalk paint out, it covered just as if I used it straight out of the jar. Secondly, I would like to say if you check out my introduction video, there are two furniture pieces that I use chalk paint on. However, I used it in a spray can form. Never again. It took 5 to 6 coats for each of those furniture pieces when I used it in a spray can form. To me, it just does not go on well. Now, since using it with applying it with a brush and I've used a roller, I will always choose those methods because I think the application is so much more uniform and better. Chalk paint is very forgiving and easy to use. In case you don't know, it does dry in a matte finish, but you can seal it with different types of finishes. So that's why I think it's a versatile option to use. The jars of paint were 8 ounces each. So since I mixed it, I only used about 6 ounces altogether. The water that I used was probably around 3, 4 ounces as well. So that's a considerable amount of water and it covers, as you can see, very well. I did not paint the sides of one end of both of the drawers because they're going to be butted up against each other. So why use that paint? Why waste it? Okay, one down, one more to go. Yes, I know. I told myself I wasn't going to paint the ends that butted up against each other, but no one's perfect. If you can see that sheen, I have the second coat on and letting that dry. It's drying pretty good. People may want to steer clear from chalk paint because they feel as though it's a matte finish and I want a little bit more of a sheen. Don't worry, I'm pretty sure most know already, but in case you don't, you can coat this with any type of finish that you want. Waverly does have a varnish that is a matte finish, supposedly non-yellowing. I can only remember I used this once and that was on my door, but the paint was black, so it's pretty hard to see whether or not you get that aged yellowish tinge to lighter colors or not, but they do have it. They also have a wax, which in my point of view is already a yellowish hue to it, if you will, but I don't know, but it's water-based, you guys. Mod Podge also is water-based and you have several finishes to choose from. If you don't know about it, check it out. MODPODGE, Mod Podge. And just about any craft store and home improvement stores, you can look it up. They even sell it on Amazon. They even have a hard coat furniture finish one, which I have used. It works. It allows you to be able to wipe off your furniture just like you normally would. So I decided I wanted to not use these same old pools that I had on there previously and that I would make my own. Now I'm gonna set up and clean up. This is my last one that I have to sew off, and what I'm going to use is not this part, but I am going to use this part that I have sawed off, sawed off, and then I am going to sand it flatter, smoother, and then I'm going to make my own resin drawer pulls. Okay, last one, you guys. As I stated in the previous clip, I wanted to use the base of the old drawer pulls. I did not want the unfinished wood to show through the resin oval mold I'm making because I'm only using just the resin and foil and black paper, so I used the chrome marker pens to cover over that unfinished wood part. Okay, you guys have fans going, trying to wear my gloves. I need to go ahead and get this going. I have my UV resin. It's kind of wet on the bottom because on the label because I had it in warm water, so it will pour easily. I need to hurry up because I have the, like I said, fan on and it's going. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this up and then I'll get right back. You may find that it's easier to tear your foil papers into pieces and then add it to your resin than adding full complete sheets. So there's nothing wrong with my audio, you guys. I'm just letting you see the obvious. Now you can overmix foil in resin if you want. Sometimes it almost shows like in a nugget-like texture, or you can softly just fold it in so that you get more of the sheets of flakes, if that makes sense. Okay, can't really tell it in here, but I'm gonna just kind of get rid of any bubbles. I have seen some people actually use alcohol. It didn't go so well for me, so I'm just gonna use this little trusty method here, and then I'm gonna use my silicone flat brush, scraper, spatula, whatever you want to call it, because I did have a little dribble here. And bada bing, bada boom, you guys. I have my resin that I'm using to continue this out of the way so I don't make a mistake and cure it in the cup. Done that before. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on 120 or 2 minutes. Okay, so this is the first 2 minutes. I'm just gonna try not to maneuver it too much, and then I'm going to just do another 90 on the other. I like it. What do you guys think? So if you saw on the base of that drawer pull that I sawed off the original drawer pulls, I had to center some of the holes. It being around the original drawer pulls, you really can't tell, but once you start putting different shapes of pulls on there, you might be able to see the little imperfection. So all I did was just mark an X or a cross on the back of it and then re-centered the hole. But I like it, you guys. What do you think? I just did the same thing with the resin pull. On the back of it, I drew a cross and went in the center and punctured a small hole. That part is off camera, but no, I punctured a tiny hole there for which I can then screw on the pull onto the drawer front. I'm done, you guys. Success. I'm actually pleased with my project. I am encouraged to do maybe a few more, maybe. But you guys let me know what you think. Guys, take care, be blessed, and thank you for your time. Bye-bye.